Hey love bugs, this is Roslynn making you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings will definitely be coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, what are you waiting for? Like and subscribe, hit that notification button, make sure you hit the all so you don't want about to hit up all my videos. And if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line, let me know what part of the world you're watching me from, and give a thumbs up and share. Anybody who's going through to get to, I'm sending you so much love and blessings your way a million times fold, whether it's for you to get over different things, for you to heal, forgive yourself, forgive others, cutting away from karmic ties, family, whatever it is, getting through marriages, death of a loved one, all those different things. From sending that towards you a million times fold. Anybody who's coming in with nefarious or Decepticon ass energy, no, anything from me or the collective is just not going to be consumed, claimed, or entitled here. It's just not. Just not. So we're here to get bigger and better. We're not here to get bitter. We're trying to make history, not wreak havoc. The video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, you've been sitting on Destiny's throne the whole time. You have been. If you know, you've been getting a lot of different things that you've been coming across, saying that your life is bigger than you imagine, or your life is so much more than you have known. There's a lot of times, there's a lot of secrets that's been, there's a lot of dark secrets our family holds. It really do. And sometimes you have to go through a lot of things to be able to discover who you are. A lot of times you could be a people pleaser. You would be a person that has been used to getting run over, being treated any kind of way, making you feel like you're not enough. You got to go through above and beyond just to be noticed. Or if you have accomplishments, they're very watered down congrats, or not even congrats at all. You can go through something and it's nothing. All those different things. And for you to be able to go through that, there was a light inside of you. I don't know if this is just known where it's like, oh, this one that's just going to really stick out. There's really going to be that one to stick out. We need to destroy them. Or whatever. Or you got different ancestors. It's like, no, we picked this certain timeline within the lineage or the family tree. This one's going to come out. Like we have one every couple of years, or we have one every year. One every... when we start adding on family, it goes through the timeline of things where if there's that certain one that's supposed to be the generational curse breaker, the golden child. The golden child is a lot of times seen as the black sheep, the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb, the underdog. The one that constantly sees the bull crap that goes on through the family and will straight tell it out, and then you're the person that's just being the hated the most. Different things like that. But when you start noticing the stuff that you go through, a lot of times when we see what we're going through, we see the heartache, we see the pain, we see the sacrifice, we see the constant death. We see a lot of times that we are held back while we see a lot of people go up, and we could be those ones going hard. And those are the times where we really had to change the perspective and say, our purpose is a lot deeper than that. Yeah, it can suck when you're constantly working hard and you barely see the fruits of your labor, so you just really don't get the recognition you truly deserve, just the way you go all out, just the way you overcome so many different things, and you're still trying to push out love, you're trying to push out knowledge, push out different things that you learn from the experience of your shortcomings, your hardships, your upheavals, your setbacks, your ultimate failures, your heartbreaks, your deceptions, your betrayals. And when you're able to do that, you had a hard life. There's a lot of things that may have shamed you that you have done in the past that you were in survival mode for. When we're in survival mode, there's a lot of things that we will do, and then when we wake up, we see different things that we noticed, that we were in a narcissistic family, or we had karmics, or we had karmic traits, or sometimes when we're in narcissistic families and narcissistic parents or whatever like that, we tend to pass on that narcissistic trait. And when you were that one that woke up and seen all the damage that was taken into your life, these are the things that set the purpose off for you to be on that journey of discovering who you truly are to the core. And for you to be able to go through that, you had to go through a lot of setbacks. You had to go through a lot of, mic drop truth bombs just being popped out on you. You had to maybe a lot of times you were living a life and you may have not knew you were adopted, or you may have been that person where your parents aren't really your parents. It could be your grandparents, or your sister may be your mama, or your brother may be your daddy. Different things like that. You had to learn that out in life. And when you went through that heartbreak of where your life has been a shadow to you your whole life, there was probably a part of you that felt like there's a part of me, there's a void in me that I have not yet got in touch with. There's a part of me, there's something about me that seems so different from other people. Like, why do I stick out so much? I don't look like my family members, even though you can be blood related, but there will be something about you that sticks out to the core. And a lot of times when it's like that, people want to dim and water that down. Or even when you're growing up in life, you probably were that person that always paid that backseat to your life, backseat to your happiness. And when you went to that truth serum, when you got hit with that truth, they're just like, Nerd say from Pharrell Williams, truth to set you free, but first it'll piss you off. It'll piss you off. But then it's like you learn how your endurance can go when it comes to a lot of hardships in your life. Seeing the determination and persistence you have, even when you want to give up, your soul won't let you. Keep going, you keep thriving. You keep seeing how much you have changed throughout a person. It's like, yeah, you may have gone through all these hardships in life, but look at how these hardships has brought you so many lessons, so much knowledge, so much wisdom. Then you seeing the strength that you had to overcome the impossible. Or maybe you had to forgive yourself for something that is unforgivable. Or maybe you had to forgive other people that weren't forgivable. Maybe you've had an addiction that a lot of people don't make it from. A lot of people pass over from ODs and stuff like that. But miraculously, you kept constantly coming back. Or you've been in situations where you could have been in a car accident. The car accident you were in, just the way the car looked, just the damage that was, you came out just walking out with probably not even a scratch on you. All those different things, you don't have probably a lot of what they call it, NDEs, near-death experiences. You talked a lot, you had so much knowledge before your time. And these are the different things where the ancestors, the gods, the thunder beings, the Incas, the Mayans, all these different things, all from our different tribes, done set a throne up for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that weren't picked for that throne, that probably took it, dismantled it, or even tried to camouflage it and cloak it to make sure that you didn't know what you were entitled to, what your birthright was, what your fate, where your destiny lies. They probably tried to rewrite it, tried to take it from you. But going through these different things, universe and ancestors will get to you and saying, hey, for all these hardships you have, you got so many rewards, you got so many spiritual inheritance. A lot of us got physical inheritance as well as you're constantly getting spiritual inheritance just for all the things that you have gone through in life. And we may be looking at God and universe sideways, the ancestors sideways, when they see you go through hell constantly. Don't come back smelling like smoke. You're like that phoenix. He keeps rising up from the ashes. Make me remind me of the show I was watching called The Legacy. And, and I was just watching that because I love Vampire Diaries, and I said I would bump that since I couldn't find the other parts of The Legacy on there where they found out that one of the boys, he was going to a special school for gifted children that had these special gifts, vampire, werewolves, witches, and all that. And he's trying to figure out where he fit in, and come to find out, shoot, he a phoenix. So I'm like, shut your mouth and shut the front door. It was like one of those things that he would die, and everybody, I was over here boo-hooing and crying. Next thing you know, he done stood up there and caught on fire, and then all of a sudden the ashes came in and he done emerged out. I said, what the hell is this? They said he's a phoenix. And I kept on hearing throughout that, throughout my downloads, there's so many of us. There are phoenixes that are coming in the ashes. You had to go in the dark. You had to go through the worst of the worst. And somehow you just kept coming out. And you telling God, I'm tired, I'm running. I'm running on fumes, I'm keep going. You keep telling me to keep on going. Blessings are around the corner. Fate's going to turn around when you least expect it. Everything is not what it seems. You go through these constant these experiences just for you to overturn there's a part of you didn't know was there. A lot of times we try to question God, the universe, why we got to go through what we go through. And it's just like we had to be able to see where our strength was when we were in a weak moment. On different parts of our life when we cannot really see what is going on and we want to give up, but yet our soul and our heart is just like a warrior that's just determined. You're a sore loser, like, nah, I refuse to accept defeat like that. Let it take me out. At least if it's gonna take me out like that, allow it to be moving in my purpose. If it's supposed to be meant like that, allow it for me to be on that. Not for me waiting for something to just come at me and I'm not putting in the work in. A lot of times we can wish for these wishes to happen. Oh, I want this, and then we expect for it to happen. A lot of times, it's not like they say on TV. You can make a wish and boom, it'll happen. A lot of times for those wishes to come true, you gotta go through your initial work. You want to you're like, well, I want to be rich. Okay, there's sometimes you're going to have to go through the struggle of being broke. Going through a poverty where you had to understand where there's a lot of time we always seen about what we lack and we see what the other person has, and then we start hating on what that person has, or we get mad because there'll be different times we work hard and we're not seeing the fruit of our labor. But the reason why we had to go through that, you had to see the value of when we do give this to you. We need you to know you're going to protect that for all costs. You're just not going to just throw it out on a whim when we give it to you, or using it for the wrong things. We want to see how you going to lucrify, whatever that word is, when you're going to make it lucrative. That's what I'm trying to say. When you're trying to build up on it, you're going to try to flip this and do what else with it. Are you working in your purpose, or are you working for self-gratification? Are you trying to sit up here and be seen? You had to go through all these different things to let you know when you finally get your blessings, you're going to understand the hardships on what you had to do to get to that. There's a lot of times where when we see the hurt and pain that goes in our life, that's going to be seen as a blessing. When we're going through that actual pain, you're not going to see it as a blessing. But then when you see the thrive and the determination and persistence you had to be able to heal from that, because a lot of times we'll go through self-pity. We'll throw ourselves a pity party like, I had to go through this, I had to go through that. And a lot of times you really do deserve that pity party. But there's a lot of times when we seen clear red flags that this was going to be and we still did it anyway. And then we knew what the consequences was, but we were hoping for a different outcome. And then boom, it probably made matters worse. And then you had to go through that lesson. You may feel stupid for going through it, but they say don't feel stupid on doing it. Feel stupid on doing it when you keep doing it. I've done that. I felt stupid a couple of times. Yeah, I did. Because I knew what the outcome was going to be, but yet I kept doing it. But then you say, I've been in this situation before, because a lot of times we get mad, why do we got to keep redoing cycles? Because you didn't learn the first time. Boop. I had to do that. I had to self-check myself. I didn't learn the first time, so you had to learn the hard way. That's what Heyokas do. We learn things the hard way. Sometimes we got to be remedial and redundant at it. We got to be retained in certain situations at times, because there are certain things that you have not yet found out about self, or there are certain things you have not yet, or it hasn't been revealed in this situation that you need to go further, or there's certain things that hasn't been revealed about the person in the situation that you connected with, that you may be seeing some way, and you had to be able to see the truth when you were stuck in an illusion. There will be different things you had to be able to go through on that. You had to learn the power of self, the power of being able to manifest, the power to be able to stand on your own. Power of being able to be to oneself. See, somebody trying to stop me from being able to deliver that message, but being able to be very selective about what you put out there. When you being real quiet, why are you so quiet? If you knew how hard it was for me to maintain my peace, my quiet shouldn't even disturb you. When I'm loud is when when I'm quiet, it shouldn't. disturb you. But when I'm loud, that's when it should. When you got to that point where what I'm not saying should be understood. Your silence speak volumes. When you are in that vibe where I refuse to sit back to my life and my happiness and my self-love and my self-respect, I refuse putting my playing backseat to my life and watering myself down and dimming my light to make other folks become comfortable. Either you need to plug into a light bulb or check the batteries, or you need some self-reflection on work you need to do too, like the other people are doing. There's a lot of times we go through stuff and the enemies make it look like, dang, they ain't going through nothing, they ain't hurting enough, they ain't, they're not feeling despair, and not really knowing, if you don't know how much stuff you don't put on me, I done been through a lot. A lot of times you know how to be stoic, because you done been through so much. That down time has been a comfort time for you, because you've been so used to your life being that way, and people don't understand that. But when you get to know yourself and you start seeing a lot of things, it's a law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. What you give is what you get. And a lot of times, it just depends on that. You had to go through that law of life of, law of attraction, what you do. You can see just by the power of your tongue how much you can bring into your life, but you can also see by the power of your tongue, especially the choices you make, how much you can bring into your life. But you can also see the power of the tongue on the choices you don't make or you're supposed to do, how it can really take your life down sometimes. And sometimes, some people be getting away with it, but then it'll be those vibes where you can see something that's like, oh, I see a certain person and they've been stealing, they've been ciphering, and they've been doing this and this and that just to be able to make time stretch. And they move about in life, and there's a lot of people that know they're like that. And probably these people are like very well hated because of that. Or it can just seem like their life has been so easy, they've been riding on it. Don't think that. There's a lot of times where we see that and they'll be riding like that for a good minute. And then boom, next reality hit and karma done set in. We don't realize that life, sometimes it feels like our enemies don't get it. And I've been there. But a lot of times you have to be able to go through life to be able to know, especially if somebody's been moving in a dark vibration for so long. Your length only gets so strength so long, but you have to understand there's debts that you got to pay along that stretch. Whatever you're doing, the next, karma be flipping. Like I said, this is a year's karma. The closer we get towards the end of the year, the more shit starting to hit the fan. A lot of things is going on in the world where you seeing a lot of bugs infestation. This is just like, when I see it, it make me think about the Mummy. There's a lot of different places where you seeing hellified on bugs, or the seasons ain't right and stuff like that. And we don't realize the power of our vibration is just really, it's like a moving and a shaking situation. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel like the power of vibration is just like from a couple of years back. I think it was like a year or two, maybe 3, I don't know, because it's like these days all blend in together. But when we have it almost every year. It's like California and Australia, it's like they get those fires, or they get those, the fires and stuff like that. And just when they had that the meditation all over the world, just when everybody was siphoned in, and all that vibration where it was so beautiful, where you're seeing people in China and everybody was in their sacred, sacred things. I forgot where they known in that, but it's so beautiful there. Anybody I know this Asian persuasion, when I tell y'all got the most beautiful synchronicities when y'all go out there and chant and all that stuff, and it's so beautiful to me. And they showed that all the different around the world. When I'm just over here boo-hooing and crying, and you're seeing kangaroos, reaching out for people. Koalas reaching out for people scared, not one, and that's heartbreaking to me when you see an animal of the wild that's looking for help from a human, because they're trying to find, a dry place, or just trying to get water, or just trying to get help, because they don't understand where they're going and they're hurt. And it was just different like that. Next thing you know, it's just start raining in all those places, and that shows you. And that was God's way of just showing, just to see if when you're in tune, to be able to to dissolve and just dismantle a whole travesty. God will purposely put us in some havoc just to be able to show we can destroy this earth. And we've been seeing it for years. All these wars and this bigotry and hatred and segregation and stuff like that. We were programmed to be that way. You weren't born into it. You were taught that shit. All that different stuff. But just think about how we can be on creating a whole new world where everybody is treated the same. People are not hated because they decide to change their sexual orientation, or if they decide to, be with the same sex and stuff like that. You're still loving that person because they're a person. We don't have people out here touching kids and, kidnapping and trafficking them and, putting you on the dark web and all that stuff. We're actually living like civilized people and not like damn savages. And and I'm talking about like low down scallywag savages. I ain't talking about the assassin, the spiritual assassin, like you ain't taking no ish type stuff. But I'm talking about that type of vibe. And you're going through these things, and when you go through these changes, you're like, wait a minute, hold up. I know who I am. Like I was saying in the other video, you become very dangerous when you know you are. You become very dangerous when you know there's a whole mountain of different things that was sent to destroy you, and you know exactly all the pinpoints where it came from, and you stand solid and you stand strong and you stay silent. You become so dangerous because they don't know when you go and attack. And when you sure about where God lies in your life, a lot of times we try to ask where God is, and God been standing by your side the whole time, and they put you through these changes. He had to be able to break you for you to be able to find out who you are at times. And a lot of times you had to be able to go through that, go through the shake and breaks. You had to be able to go through the setbacks. You had to go through the toxic addictions. You had to be able to go through the use with the A and the B on it. You had to be able to go through those different things to be able to look at life different. Look at so many of these people, like, what's her name? Elizabeth Short. I don't know how that girl went through it, and I said, still to this day, I still believe she had Munchausen syndrome, and she says she didn't. But for you to have to go through something like that and be able to see it, you never know, because there's a lot of times where we can look at certain things on TV, talk shows, especially like Jerry Springer, God rest his soul, Maury Povich, Steve Wilkos. I wouldn't go through that. I was there too, judging like hell. You never know what you're going to go through. Don't ever put it in your position to where you can sit up here and say, when you see somebody going through that, pray for them first. Like, Lord Jesus, that's a whole hell ass hot mess. But let me pray that I never know what this experience feel like. Don't ever judge nobody. I had to be able to tell myself that. Stop judging. Because there's a lot of things that you said that you would never go through, you would never put up with. And just so happened, God humbled the hell out of me and made me go through those situations. It made me go tuck my tail between my legs and say, you know what, let me not judge that person, because you don't know what that person going through. If you never dealt with a narcissist or even realized you've been stuck in a narcissist trap. Because there's a lot of us is being shielded where we've been programmed to hate certain people. That person has been the worst, and that's been the person who's been the most kindest person. And don't even realize your ass been bamboozled into believing some narcissist over some person. You just really believe that was the wickedest person, and the next thing you know, truth hits you, and you wonder why you karma hitting all left and right in your life, because that person right there that's been doing the attacking and had to have the flying monkeys, they'll sit up here and create a whole karma, and every person that's that flying person for that person getting hit with that karma too. Just like that person that's loving and nurturing and caring and compassionate, is sending different stuff out to people, helping people learn as they learn, showing the different things they had to see through their dark times. They were able to see the light in the different messages they went in through. The potential they seen through those moments of where people made you feel uncertain about your own self, made you question yourself. They had you like that. Or even when they wanted to make you feel like, no, that's not what you seen, that was a misunderstanding. No, the hell, it is what you seen. I'm blinking a whole lot like you seen that best. Don't you act like you didn't see that. It'd be one of those different things. But you're going through these different things to be able to understand who you are to the core by the things that you have overcome, you have achieved, have been clarified to you through your knowledge of experience and growth, or even the views that you get through your downloads. So I hope you were able to resonate with the concept of this video, y'all. Much love to you. Shalom. Happy holidays. God bless. I say peace. If you feel generous enough to drop a donation towards the channel, the Cash App is at the bottom. If there's any time you want to connect with me one-on-one, on my social media handles is in the description box as well. God bless, and you'll see me on my next video. Much love. Peace.